Alevism or Alevi is a mystical branch of Islam whose adherents are followers of Ali, the 12 Imams and the descendant, the 13th century Alevis and Haji Bektash Veli.Having some links with Twelver Shia Islam. The practices of the Alevis are based on Sufi elements of the Bektashi tariqa.Alevism is seen as one of the two main branches of Islam in Turkey, the other being Sunni Islam. Controversy regarding the definition. Some sources link Alevism to Shia Islam and particularly to the heterodox syncretic Sufi group known as the Bektashi order. According to these sources, Alevism is closely related to Bektashism. Commonalities include the veneration of the Alevis and Haji Bektash Veli, a Turkish or Iranian saint from Khorasan of the 13th century. Many Alevis refer to an Alevi Bektashi tradition, but this identity is not universally adopted, nor is the combined name used by non-Turkish Bektashis. In addition to its religious aspect, Alevism is also closely associated with Turkish folk culture. Alevi identity. Alevis follow the Batini teachings of Muhammad, the Quran, his Ahl al-Bayt, the 12 Imams and the descendant Alevi saint and Sufi master Haji Bektash Veli. For this reason it's also referred to as Shia-e Batiniya. Most of the believers live in Turkey, with some scattered minorities in Bulgaria, Cyprus, the Caucasus, Greece, Iran and the Turkish diaspora. Alevi definition of the Presidency of Alevi Islam religion services. According to the President of the Islamic Alevi Religious Services Dede İzzet Dogan, Alevism is nothing but a Tas or Wufi Batini interpretation of Islam. Etymology. Alevi is generally explained as referring to Ali, the cousin and son-in-law of Muhammad. The name represents a Turkish form of the word Alawi, of pertaining to Ali. According to Ashikist's assertion, on the other hand, it was derived from Alev, in reference to fire, which is extensively used in Alevi rituals. However, traditional Islamic Alevis claim that the name Alevi is linked to Ali, just like the word Musevi is linked to Musa, Isevi is linked to Isa and Mevlevi is linked to Mevlana. According to them, the use of candles is based on Quran chapter 24, verses 35 and 36. God is the light of the heavens and the earth. The example of his light is like a niche within which there is a lamp. The lamp is encased in a glass. The glass is like a radiant planet, which is lit from a blessed olive tree that is neither of the east nor of the west. Its oil nearly gives off light even if not touched by fire. Light upon light, God guides to his light whom he pleases. And God sets forth examples for the people, and God is aware of all things. In houses, which God has permitted to be raised to honor, for the celebration, in them, of his name, in them is he glorified in the mornings and in the evenings. Even though the term Alevi is thought to be simply the Turkish-derived form of Arabic Alawi, the Arab form of the term today refers to the distinct group of the Arabic-speaking Alawites of Syria. Alevi used to be grouped as Kizilbas, a generic term used by Sunni Muslims in the Ottoman Empire for the various Shia sects from the 15th century. Many other names exist, among them Tartichi, woodcutters, Abdal, bards, and Sapni. Alevi Islamic School of Theology. In Turkey, Shia Muslim people belong to the Jafari Islamic school, which tracks back to the 6th Shia Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, are called as the Jafaris, who belong to Twelver Shia. Although the Alevi Turks are being considered as a part of Twelver Shia Islam, they are different than the Jafari Muslims in their convictions and beliefs. The Alevi Turks has a unique and perplexed conviction tracing back to Kasanites and Karamites, which are being considered as Gulit Shia Islam. According to Turkish scholar Abdul Baki Golpinali, the Kizilbash of the 16th century, a religious and political movement in Azerbaijan Azerbaijan that helped to establish the Safavid dynasty, were spiritual descendants of the Karamites. Among the members of the Qizilbash tariqa, who were considered as a subsect of the Alevis, two figures: firstly Abu Muslim Khorasani, who assisted Abbasid Caliphate to beat the Umayyad Caliphate but later eliminated and murdered by Caliph al-Mansur, and secondly Babak Khorramdin, who incited a rebellion against Abbasid Caliphate and consequently was killed by Caliph al-Mutazim, a highly respected. This belief provides strong clues about the Qaysanites, Shia and Karamites' origins. In addition, Safaviya tariqa leader Shah Ismail is a highly regarded individual in the belief of Alevi Qizilbash tariqa, associating them with the Imama conviction of Twelver Shia Islam. Their Aqidah is based upon a syncretic fiqh system called as Batiniya Sufism, Ismailism, which incorporates some sentiments of seven incarnations. Originally introduced by Abu al-Khattab Muhammad ibn Abu Zaynab al-Asadi, and later developed by Maimun al-Qadr and his son Abdallah ibn Maimun, Mutazila with a strong belief in the 12 Imams. Not all of the members believe that the fasting in Ramadan is obligatory, although some Alevi Turks performs the fasting duties partially in Ramadan. Some beliefs of shamanism still are common amongst the Qizilbash Alevi Turks in villages. On the other hand, Bektashi has a conviction of Batiniya Ismailism and Hurufism with a strong belief in the 12 Imams. In conclusion, Qizilbash Alevi Bektashis are not the followers of Jafari jurisprudence. Even though they can be considered as members of different Shia tariqa, all looks like subclasses of Twelver Shia Islam. The conviction includes Batiniya Hurufism and Karmation Ismailism sentiments. They all may be considered as special groups not following the Jafari jurisprudence, like Nasiris, who are in the class of Gulit Twelver Shia Islam, but a special Batiniya belief somewhat similar to Ismailism in their conviction. In conclusion, 12 branch of Shia Muslim population of Turkey is composed of Mutazila Aqidah of Jafari jurisprudence Madhab, Tasawwufi Batiniya Aqidah of Maimun al-Gaddafi fiqh of the Alevis, and Sili Aqidah of Maimun ibn Abu al-Kashim Sulaiman ibn Ahmad ibn at-Tabrani fiqh of the Alawites, who altogether constitutes nearly one-third of the whole population of the country. The following poem is sourced to be concerned. Harabi sen Imam Kafir Baglan, Harabi follow Imam Jafar al-Sadiq bas Kamijapleri etme vazaif. Do not make any other madhab to duty. Adab Harabi, 1900. Istanbul beliefs. Alevi beliefs are hard to define, since Aleviness is a diverse movement without any central authority, and its boundaries with other groups are poorly demarcated. Many teachings are based on an orally transmitted tradition, traditionally kept secret from outsiders. The basis for Alevi's most distinctive beliefs is found in the Bayraqs, Jafar al-Sadiq, and other worthies. Also included are hymns by figures such as Shah Ismail Pir Sultan Abdal, stories of Haji Bektash and other law. Allah, Muhammad and Ali. Alevis believe in the unity of Allah, Muhammad, and Ali, but this is not a trinity composed of God and the historical figures of Muhammad and Ali. Rather, Muhammad and Ali are representations of Allah's light, being neither independent from God nor separate characteristics of Him. In Alevi writings are many references to the unity of Muhammad and Ali, such as Ali Muhammadiyya Dufa'ad Muhammad Ali, Gordamba el-Madiyya Alhamdulillah. The phrase, "for the love of God Muhammad Ali," is common to several Alevi prayers. For some, the linking of the three seems polytheistic and not in line with monotheistic Islamic teachings, but Alevis counter that such people do not understand the Batini meaning of the Alevi equation of Allah Muhammad Ali. The 12 Imams. The 12 Imams are part of another common Alevi belief. Each Imam represents a different aspect of the universe. They are realized as 12 services or Oniki Hizmet which are performed by members of the Alevi community. Each Imam is believed to be a reflection of Ali ibn Abu Talib, the first Imam of the Shiites, and there are references to the first Ali, Imam Hassan, the second Ali, and so on up to the 12th Ali, Imam Mahdi. The 12th Imam is hidden and represents the Messianic age. Plurality. There are two sides to creation, one from a spiritual center to plurality, another from plurality to the spiritual center. Plurality is the separation of pure consciousness from the divine source. It is seen as a curtain alienating creation from the divine source and an illusion which called the Zar area, the exoteric side to reality. The hidden or true nature of creation is called the batini, the esoteric. The fact of plurality in nature is attributed to the infinite potential energy of Kal-I-Nafs when it takes corporeal form as it descends into being. From Allah, during the Sem ceremony, the cantor or asik sings, "All of us alive or lifeless are from one. This is ineffable. Sultan, fit to love and to fall in love has been my fate from time immemorial." Quote. This is sung as a reminder that the reason for creation is love, so that the followers may know themselves and each other and that they may love that which they know. The perfect human being linked to the concept of the prototypal human is that of the perfect human being. Although it is common to refer to Ali and Haji Bektash Veli of the other Alevi saints as manifestations of the perfect human being, the perfect human being is also identified with our true identity as pure consciousness. Hence the Quranic concept of human beings not having original sin, consciousness being pure and perfect. The human task is to fully realize this state while still in material human form. The perfect human being is also defined in practical terms as one who is in full moral control of his or her hands, tongue and loins, treats all kinds of people equally, and serves the interests of others. One who has achieved this kind of enlightenment is also called Aaron or Muneva. Practices the Alevi spiritual path is commonly understood to take place through 4 major life stages or gates. These may be further subdivided into 4 gates, 40 levels. The first gate is considered elementary. The following are major crimes that cause an Alevi to be declared duskan: killing a person, committing adultery, divorcing one's wife, stealing, backbiting, gossiping. Most Alevi activity takes place in the context of the second gate, during which one submits to a living spiritual guide. The existence of the third and fourth gates is mostly theoretical, though some older Alevis have apparently received initiation into the third. Sem and Semevi. The central Alevi corporate worship service is the Sem ceremony. Alevi worship and other social activities take place in assembly houses. The ceremony's prototype is the Muhammad's nocturnal ascent into heaven, where he beheld a gathering of 40 saints, and the divine reality made manifest in the leader Ali. The Sem ceremony features music, singing, and dancing in which both women and men participate. Rituals are performed in Turkish, Zazaki, Kurmanji and other local languages. Baglama. During the Sem ceremony, the ashik plays the baglama whilst singing spiritual songs, some of which are centuries old and well known amongst Alevis. Every song, called a nefis, has spiritual meaning and aims to teach the participants important lessons. One such song goes thus: learn from your mistakes and be knowledgeable. Don't look for faults in others. Look at 73 different people in the same way. God loves and created them all, so don't say anything against them. Sama, a family of ritual dances characterized by turning and swirling, is an inseparable part of any Sem. Sama is performed by men and women together to the accompaniment of the baglama. The dances symbolize the revolution of the planets around the sun, and the parting off of one's self and uniting with God. Gorgusemi. The rite of integration is a complex ritual occasion in which a variety of tasks are allotted to incumbents bound together by extrafamilial brotherhood, who undertake a dramatization of unity and integration under the direction of the spiritual leader. Dem. The love of the Creator for the created and vice versa is symbolized in the Sem ceremony by the use of fruit juice and/or red wine, which represents the intoxication of the lover in the beloved. During the ceremony, Dem is one of the 12 duties of the participants. Sobet. At the closing of the Sem ceremony, the Dede who leads the ceremony engages the participants in a discussion. This discussion is called a Sobet. 12 services. There are 12 services performed by attendees of the Sem. Dede. This is the leader of the Sem who represents Muhammad and Ali. The Dede receives confession from the attendees at the beginning of the ceremony. He also leads funerals, musahiplik, marriage ceremonies and circumcisions. The status of Dede is hereditary and he must be a descendant of Ali and Fatima. Reba. This position represents Hussein. The Reba is a guide to the faithful and works closely with the Dede in the community. Gozgu. This position represents Abu Dar al-Ghafari. He is the assistant to the Reba. He is the Sem keeper responsible for keeping the faithful calm. Saragchi. This position represents Jabir ibn Abdallah and he is the light keeper responsible for maintaining the light traditionally given by a lamp or candles. Zakia. This position represents Bilal ibn al-Harith. He plays the baglama and recites songs and prayers. Supergesi. This position represents Sulman the Persian. He is responsible for cleaning the Semevi hall and symbolically sweeping the carpets during the Sem. Maidensi. This position represents Hudhayfa ibn al-Yamin. Niyazchi. This position represents Muhammad ibn Maslama. He is responsible for distributing the sacred meal. Ibrikchi. This position represents Kamba. He is responsible for washing the hands of the attendees. Karpichi. This position represents Gulam Kasan. He is responsible for calling the faithful to the Sem. Payakchi. This position represents Samri Ayari. Sakachi represents Amar ibn Yazir, responsible for the distribution of water, sherbet, milk, etc. Festivals. Newruz, New Day, is the Persian New Year observed on the 21st of March as a celebration of newness and reconciliation. It is celebrated by many modern Turkish peoples as well. Apart from the original beliefs of the Zoroastrians regarding the New Year, Alevis also celebrate and commemorate the birth of Ali, his wedding with Fatima, the rescue of Yusuf from the well, and the creation of the world on this day. Various Sem ceremonies and special programs are held. Morning of Muharram. The Muslim month of Muharram begins 20 days after Eid al-Adha. Alevises observe a fast for the first 12 days. This is called Turkish Muharram Matemi, Turkish Jasai Muharram, or Turkish Matamoroku. This culminates in the festival of Ashura, which commemorates the martyrdom of Hussein at Karbala. The fast is broken with a special dish prepared from a variety of fruits, nuts, and grains. Many events are associated with this celebration, including the salvation of Hussein's son Ali ibn Hussein from the massacre at Karbala, thus allowing the bloodline of the family of Muhammad to continue. The solstice and equinox celebrations and their confusion with historical and human incarnations are very well mirrored in Christian religious, and even political, celebrations, e.g., May Day and Christmas, and more closely still with Celtic traditions. Hydraelis honors the mysterious figure Khidr, who is sometimes identified with Elijah, and is said to have drunk of the water of life. Some hold that Khidr comes to the rescue of those in distress on land, while Elijah helps those at sea, and that they meet at a rose tree in the evening of every 6th of May. The festival is also celebrated in parts of the Balkans by the name of Urdeles, where it falls on the same day as 3rd Evden of St. George's Day. Khidr is also honored with a 3-day fast in mid-February called Hizir. In addition to avoiding any sort of comfort or enjoyment, Alevis also abstain from food and water for the entire day, though they do drink liquids other than water during the evening. Note that the dates of the Khidr holidays can differ among Alevis, most of whom use a lunar calendar, but some a solar calendar. Musahiplik is a covenant relationship between two men of the same age, preferably along with the wives. In a ceremony in the presence of a dead, the partners make a lifelong commitment to care for the spiritual, emotional, and physical needs of each other and the children. The ties between couples who have made this commitment is at least as strong as it is for blood relatives, so much so that Musahiplik is often called spiritual brotherhood. The children of covenanted couples may not marry. Christina Kale Bodrogi reports that the Tartichi identify Musahiplik with the first gate, since they regard it as a precondition for the second. Those who attain to the third gate must have been in a Musahiplik relationship for at least 12 years. Entry into the third gate dissolves the Musahiplik relationship in a ceremony called Osvomayini. The value corresponding to the second gate is Asanalik. Its counterpart for the third gate is called Pesanelalik. For the fourth gate, Singildislik Asengildislik. Folk practices. Many folk practices may be identified, though few of them are specific to the Alevis. In this connection, scholar Martin van Bruinessen notes a sign from Turkey's Ministry of Religion, attached to Istanbul's Shrine of Upsultan, which presents a long list of superstitious practices that are emphatically declared to be non-Islamic and objectionable, such as lighting candles or placing wishing stones on the tomb, tying pieces of cloth to the shrine or to the trees in front of it, throwing money on the tomb, asking the dead directly for help, circling 7 times around the trees in the courtyard, pressing one's face against the walls of the turbi in the hope of a supernatural cure, tying beads to the shrine and expecting supernatural support from them, sacrificing roosters or turkeys as a vow to the shrine. The list is probably an inventory of common local practices the authorities wish to prevent from re-emerging. Other similar practices include kissing doorframes of holy rooms, not stepping on the threshold of holy buildings, seeking prayers from reputed healers, and making lokma and sharing it with others. Ziyarat to sacred places. While some Alevis do not recognize an obligation to go on pilgrimage to Mecca, performing ziyarah and dua at the tombs of Alevi Bektashi saints or PIRS is quite common. Some of the most frequently visited sites of the shrines of Sakulalu and Karakamit, Abdel Musa, Battle Ghazi, the annual celebrations held at Haji Bektash and Shivas. In contrast with the traditional secrecy of the SEM ceremony ritual, the events at these cultural centers and sites are open to the public. In the case of the Haji Bektash celebration, since 1990 the activities there have been taken over by Turkey's Ministry of Culture in the interest of promoting tourism and Turkish patriotism, rather than Alevi spirituality. Some Alevis make pilgrimages to mountains and other natural sites believed to be imbued with holiness. Almsgiving. Alevis are not expected to give zakat in the orthodox Islamic mode, and there is no set formula or prescribed amount for charity like Sunnism. Rather, they are expected to give the excess according to Quran verse 2 to 219. A common method of Alevi almsgiving is through donating food to be shared with worshippers and guests. Alevis also donate money to be used to help the poor, to support the religious, educational and cultural activities of Alevi centers and organizations, and to provide scholarships for students.